So it's Barb from Dover Apothecary. How the heck are you?
Great, Dave. How are you? Happy
Good.
2024.
I know, and I know that you had the luxury of having everybody to your place for Christmas and had a wonderful dinner, I'm sure, and lots of fun. And you guys had a great New Year's Eve. You probably like me, you just kept it low key, right? Or were you out
Oh,
partying pretty hard?
we don't actually party too much at all. We're usually poking each other on the sofa just to say Happy New Year.
Are you awake? Are you awake? Well, you know what? That's what you do, right? When we
Yep,
get our age, we're kind of saving our energy, right? Because we're getting that stage in our life where we recognize that we need to be resourceful with our health and our energy. And I liked your piece that's going to be in the January hub. It's checking in on wellness. And I thought, well, that kind of fits with the Christmas, and you're coming out of Christmas, you got the New Year's, and you're kind of making sure that you're resilient enough to face all the things that are going to come at you in 2024 in a positive way. And that's what you're there to help with, correct?
that is absolutely 100% correct. Yes.
What a
Yeah,
great lead in.
it. Mhm. Yeah, as self-confessed, I am at the very tail end of the baby boomer generation. And life changes, right? I think that this last few years, especially, what has really impacted me is the people that I love and care about, family and friends, and the huge life events that they've been experiencing, and it's sobering, right? It kind of smacks you in the head and gives you that sense of the not so much the urgency of time, but you know, the fact that that timeline does have a beginning and an ending, and how much everything in between matters. So I think that that was, I'm not a resolution person. I've, written articles in the past about that resolution thing doesn't kind of sit with me, but I am a resiliency person. And I really, really like to help people tap into the aspects of themselves, recognize and tap into where their strengths are, and the areas that might need a little bit of work. So, in the everyday, within the context of a nutritional consultation, there's a lot that we can be doing to grow ourselves in the right direction.
I think I like that piece there because I think what you do is the compassion grows as you age. I really
Yeah.
think that because you kind of look at things a little differently and you slow it down, and that's where we I don't want to sound too old, but that's where we can help the younger guys, younger folks, and sort of say, hey, it's going to be okay. You just need to
Yeah.
slow it down, take a look around, do what's best for your health, your family's health, and, and initiate it now while you've got that opportunity to drive it in the right direction. You and I off air were talking about that, and I said one of the things that I referred to with your column this month was I was out with a bunch of friends celebrating his 60th birthday, and I said to you the one thing I noticed was we're all good friends. The hugs were a little longer. As you
Oh,
age, you
right.
understand those moments and you appreciate them that much more. And that's really what life's about, is really appreciating those moments and enjoying them. And exactly what you said. We've all had tough times in the last 3 or 4 years. Everybody,
Yeah.
everybody. So it's time to sort of recognize where we can go in the next 4 years too. What the positive steps
Oh,
we can take in our lives.
100%. And, as a grandparent, our eldest granddaughter is already 15. We've got a grandson who will be 12 in June. Our youngest granddaughter, she'll be 8 in February. And, that time continuum, it astounds me. It's like, well, how can that be possible? Because I don't feel older than 35 most days. Um, and it just seems like our children were that age. The kids will comment, well, how come you have more patience for us than mommy and daddy? And it's that understanding of those moments, that the things that you think are important suddenly take on a different weight, a different perspective, and you're stepping into those real life moments and absorbing every little bit from them because they're fleeting in the
Yeah.
grand scheme of things. So yeah, it's incredible.
And you know what? This is a great opportunity to talk for a second about the health of the moment. Because if you're not healthy, you can't see the clarity of the moment. Maybe you see it, but you don't
Right.
see it as clear as you should be seeing it. And that's, I want to bring you to the table and say, hey, so what are people supposed to do? You know, you're coming into, like you said, January and February and March. These are kind of long, strenuous months sometimes. So, get
Mhm.
the right B vitamins, enjoy those proper moments, and get out and enjoy that walk. Right? Like there's so many things you can do. So fire away.
Yeah. So, I mean, when and I talk about this all the time, but our food is actually what fuels us. It is, something that shouldn't be negotiable, but unfortunately, there are a lot of reasons why that might be an issue in people's lives. Could be lack of education, could be financial challenges. There are a lot of reasons why people don't eat properly. But at the cellular level, the body needs that fuel to perform its best. Otherwise, it's always doing cleanup damage work and sending your energy that way. So, when we start with that good foundation of nutrition, and oftentimes, especially during those winter months, we do require extra supplementation. Our bodies burn through those B complex vitamins, and those are what feed our central nervous system. So, if we are undergoing stressful periods, and it doesn't matter if it's good or bad stress, the body still perceives it as a stress and it utilizes and burns through those. So, getting a good quality. And when I talk about good quality, we're not talking about just any one off from the big box stores because the absorption of the product matters. So you need to know your companies, you need to know the format, you need to know when to take them, especially if you're taking prescription medications as well. There are a lot of different things when it comes to supplements that are important, but they can be massively helpful tools in helping bring things back into balance if things have gotten a little off track. So your B complex, your omega 3s to reduce inflammation. There are great herbal ones out there. They don't always play well with prescription meds. So again, it's always good to consult with a healthcare professional that understands the ins and outs of those different things to make sure that it's not going to be contraindicated in your situation. It's a lot of what I, go into with people in my practice for certain. But when we have those tools, when we're sleeping well, when we're staying hydrated, and you can't ignore the importance of our relationships with one another. We need to have relationships. We need to feel needed. We need to have a sense of purpose. And unfortunately, one of the things that happens as we are blessed enough to age is that sometimes our mobility and our health can suffer for a variety of reasons. And that can really put people into a tailspin. So it's knowing what and when to support with and the ways that we can keep our brains and our bodies very, very active, and finding ways to feel part of our community, part of our family, just overall invested in our lives. And that's sometimes not always the easiest thing to do, but it's an important thing to do. And I always tell people, like, if you don't feel like retiring, don't. Like, why stop? If you're doing something that you love doing, there's no age limit that says you have to stop doing that. Just keep invested because that social activity, that social interaction, that, knowing that you're making a difference you can't get that in a bottle. So it's really, really important that people stay invested that way.
I think what you said too about your grandchildren and all that, I think that's as we age, we want to be strong and healthy to enjoy them. Like number one priority is that, and I think for
Mhm.
anyone out there with their own children or their grandchildren, this is a good opportunity to talk about that and say, hey, you know, you want
Yeah.
to be the strongest, healthiest person you can be to enjoy those children. So it's important
Mhm.
that you do take care of those little things, like you said, the sleep, the exercise, the food, the rest, all those components make for a great day, and you can enjoy your grandchildren, your great grandchildren. And I think that's the part of it too. As we age, we're sort of looking at that future. I'm not really
Hmm.
sure, but we want to be as strong as we can to enjoy those moments. Exactly, back to
We
the
do.
moment, back to the resilience, being strong as you go forward. And folks, read Barb's article. It's the January Hub. Make sure you check it out and
Awesome.
understand that she can help you get to those goals. I think that's the critical part, is understanding that you can set those goals,
Hmm.
achieve them, feel resilient, and get your health as a top priority in 2024. Thanks for doing this today, Barb.
100%.
I just
Thanks
got
so
on
much.
my little rant,
Yep.
didn't I, today? Another little rant with Dave. It's
Hey,
Barb's show, but Dave
it's
rants. Don't worry about it.
we have to rant, right? It's important.
Next
It's
month's
that
Valentine's
those
Day,
are the
there will
moments.
next month's Valentine's Day, there will be no rants on
No
Valentine's
rants.
Day.
Oh, I'm gonna hold you to that, Dave.
Uh-oh. Ah, all right, I'll get working on it. Thanks for doing this. Talk to you next month.
Take care, Dave. Thanks.